Everyone is lined up now. The lights are coming on. 10 lights are there. And they are out, and we are away. It looks like it's been a pretty even start at the front, but I think Massey's got the better launch. He's going to have the inside line into turn 1 here. Jack will be able to fight it off around the outside. They're going to go side by side here. Massey looks to have got the place. Jack Mull keeps it in there, though. He keeps it in there, but does not manage to get the place back as there's a yellow flag in the background.
OG James.
So OG James has dropped down a bit, but yeah, Massey took the lead, and here we are, Tooman on the inside into P2 at the end of the second straight, and Jack Mull starting on pole, tried to keep his nose in there to try and keep the position on Massey, but in the end,
OG James.
Tooman.
OG James is running back.
Crash in the background.
And he's beached. Oh no, he has got it off. He got it beached on the curb for a second.
OG James is off. Scar Borger's had an incident as well, and SLR Dawson's dropped down. As drivers inside the top 10 of Jack, Charlie and Panther seem to have had a poor start as well. Golden Egg Fryer up to 8 from 11. Good start for him. As Zach is Beast is in P10 on the mediums as well. If you can keep with this train, he could be looking good.
Indeed he could.
It's back for the battle with P2. Jack Mull is just a tenth of a second behind Tooman, who's already lost the DRS of Massey. I think that battling with Jack Mull has definitely lost Tooman a bit of time compared to the Williams driver. He's going to have to burn a bit of his battery to try and close that back up. That could leave him vulnerable to Jack Mull behind. Is Jack Mull going to have a go here into turn 1? He's thinking about it. He's going to potentially chuck it up the inside here. He doesn't have DRS, but he does have a lot of slipstream, and he keeps behind him. But all that does is loses them time and allows Massey to keep in that P1 position and pull the gap.
Andrew and Dawson do have a bit of contact, but Andrew does get through into 15.
And that's the battle for P3 though. Jack Mull has gone from the attacking once again to the defensive as he keeps ahead of AWL Kevin and allows his teammate SLR Ali to get through. A little bit of rough racing there by Jack Mull and AWL Kevin, but that has lost AWL Kevin the position to Ale.
Tooman's back within DRS now.
Yes, he is, as now the battle for P10. Zach is Beast on the mediums, as expected, does not have the best start. He needs to keep in the DRS of the cars ahead of him if he wants to make this medium, the strategy work. But at the moment, he's under pressure from Skullkiller. Skullkiller has a brilliant run through Ascari, but doesn't quite get the power on an exit. Using a lot of battery though, Skullkiller. Ooh, as AWL Kevin gets back past SLR Ale. It's all going off here through the entire field, really.
Ale with a better exit though. Get that
yeah, here we are. Ale is in the wheel tracks. Ale is in the wheel tracks. He's on the slipstream. He's got a bit more ERS than Kevin, but he's not fighting this. He wants to play the long game here. And he keeps the position. It's now Zach is Beast and Skullkiller are battling it out. As is Golden Egg Fryer and SLR Leah. Oh, SLR Leah's dropped down. No, Golden Egg Fryer's dropped down behind Panther as well. I don't know what's happened there, but Golden Egg Fryer and Leah obviously went side by side into turn 1, and Golden Egg Fryer's come out worse.
Half a second at the front now between Tooman and Massey. Tooman definitely going to get DRS here onto this the straight after the second Lesmo.
Yeah, Tooman definitely showing a bit of pace here. And Jack Mull behind, don't count him out. He's got a decent bit of ERS, and he is nearly in the DRS of these two ahead of him. Just needs them to fight a little bit, and he can get back up there. But Tooman and Massey here can work together. That is one thing for sure. They can work together. If they use each other's DRS and kind of tow each other along a bit, they can potentially create a gap to the rest and then leave it as a two-horse race at the front. Of course, if they go side by side, if they battle quite a bit, then that's just going to lose them both time. As here we are, is Tooman going to try and take this lead, or is he going to try and stick behind Massey here? Interestingly, he does not want to get the slipstream of the Williams driver. I wonder whether that's because he doesn't want to get too close behind him in case he maybe locks a brake. But someone who does want to get past is AWL Kevin on Jack Mull. He cannot do it yet, but they're going to keep on battling here. I think Kevin has a run here.
Does.
Ooh, around the outside, he has to back out though. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is that?
That's Hyper's round. I think he's just had contact with one of the Mercedes.
Yes, he's dropped down to P19 and made that P20.
He's just dropped behind Reggie James as well, so terrible for right there for SLR Hypers after contact. I think it was Scar Borger in the Mercedes.
Yes, but so far, other than that, it's been relatively clean, it must be said. Now Tooman is reeling in Massey with that DRS as expected. And they do have about a 1.5 second gap. Jack Mull, whilst he has loads of batteries, just keeping on defending from the AWRL Kevin and allowing these two to pull away. So Tooman here and Massey in a very good position, and once again Tooman isn't trying to get past. Massey's using a bit of his battery, but he's kind of defending nothing really as Tooman is not looking to get through. But Jack Mull and Kevin battling it out again. I think Kevin was the one that had the DRS, but Jack Mull's outbraked him and he spun round. They've made contact and Jack Mull has dropped all the way down to P9. And that's going to potentially invite Zach's Beast. He's going to have a lot better run than Jack Mull on the medium tyres, so not be good for Jack's race. He's going to try and... No, he's not going to try and check it up the inside of Zach. I imagine he'll be feeling a little bit annoyed with that incident, but he's not going to chuck it up the inside of Zach. And Barlow, whilst Kevin are lost... And Kevin ended up losing a position to Barlow here as well. The yellow flag, and that's Hypers. And we're focused on the battle for P3 now. Barlow has kind of come alive. We didn't really notice him, but he's got past SLR Alley. And look at the advantage the top two have after that incident. Again. And Ale was in P3, couldn't even be in P5 by the end of this straight. Kevin's going to go round the outside. Can he hold it? This is great battling here, and Panther's got a huge run on them. Panther's got a huge run on them. He's going to try and...
Look at both of them here going into turn one. The Crown driver, is he going to send it down the inside?
He thought about it, he did think about it,
but he
has to settle P6. And Lee is there as well. But this is great battling, and brilliant from Barlow. He's up 5 positions. He's taken advantage of the others' mistakes, and he's up into P3. He's doing very, very well as the Aston Martin driver. But I mean, disaster for Jack Mullers. There's yellow flag. Who's that?
Beast,
Skull Killer.
Fucking Beast.
Skull Killer and Zach's Beast must have made contact. And a disaster for Zach's Beast. I think Skull Killer's gone round again.
Michael's pits after that damage. His race might be over now, unfortunately for him.
Yes. But back to the battle for P1. This is the one that we are keeping an eye out on, and it looks like Tooman is happy to stick in P2 for now. Not really trying any moves, but someone who might be trying a move is AWRL Kevin on SLR Barlow. He's going to have quite a good run here on Barlow into turn 1. Does he think about it? He does. He feints to the inside, but never really close enough to make a move there. And Barlow stays in P3. As you see the two Mercedes battling it out as Scarborger gets past SLR Hicklin.
So
lap 7.
He's gained a little bit on him.
Yes, as here we are, battle for P3. Is AWRL Kevin going to have a look at SLR Barlow here? At the moment, they're a similar pace to Massey and Tooman. They are... Barlow is not being gapped by the two ahead of him. As yellow in sector 2, and that is Skull Killer. Yeah, that's Skull Killer. But anyway, Barlow versus Kevin. Barlow versus Kevin now. Kevin is a lot closer here, and I mean, I think this overtake is going to help the pair of them, to be honest, because if Kevin can get that position, then he's essentially pulling them both along. Barlow is not going to defend it here, and Kevin takes the place.
Another position's been taken. SLR Charlie now just got past SLR Jack. Same as Zach is Beast. He's just got past Justice Blaze as well, going into one.
Yeah, a bit of battling lower down on the field. But now can Kevin, Barlow, Ale close up on the top two? Gap currently 2.6, and if Barlow and Kevin keep on swapping positions, then this could allow them to shoot up with DRS to potentially close up to the top two. Could still be on here, as Tooman is managing his battery really well here, and I think Tooman is thinking about one thing and one thing only. And that is the long game. But lap 8. But lap 8 now. Is this the time to think about pit stops for anyone? Is anyone going to try an undercut? I don't believe so. As we now look at the battle for P7. Jack Mull after that issue has recovered himself, but is still stuck in P8 as further back there's another few positions changing, probably just standard DRS passes.
Yep, indeed it is.
Oh, has SLR Ale's gone? SLR Ale
has
clipped the curb on the second chicane, and that has meant that he has spun completely around. And he's lost so many times here. So much time here. Ooh, that is crucial.
And look, Tooman, he's going to have a go here on the right-hand side of Messi. He is. He's through into the lead of the race.
That was very bizarre. Tooman almost had to brake to avoid hitting Massey, and I don't know whether Massey's
Tooman's
got some kind of issue. Oh, I was going to say, this is advantage Tooman big time here. He's going to have a lot more battery. He's going to maybe be able to pull away from Massey, and Massey has his penalty. But then Tooman has picked up a penalty one corner later. So this now means that Kevin and Barlow, they are reawakened. If they can close up a bit more to this top two, then who knows, maybe they could potentially be on for the victory, one of them. That's a very interesting development. This top two goes getting a penalty. Oh, hello.
Past Panther. Maybe
Jack Mull.
For turn one.
Jack Mull, he's going to try and hold it down the inside of SLR Leah.
He has. Brilliant move from Jack Mull.
Dodges his way through a little bit and gets the position. And Massey's lost a bit more time here to Tooman. Is Massey disconnected? I'm not sure.
I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a look.
Or does he potentially have a wheel problem? I'm not sure, but either way, Tooman has managed to pull the gap on him. Maybe Massey just made a mistake. But at the moment, it looks like Massey could be vulnerable to the cars behind, but Tooman still be looking good. But of course, safety cars could change all of that. If there's a late safety car and you have a penalty, then you can plunge down many positions here. As Kevin runs wide at Ascari, he knows the little trick at Ascari, does Kevin, to avoid getting a warning. I'm going to pause it, I'm going to check him to see whether he does. And no, he doesn't have a warning. He is very, very cheeky there, Kevin, it must be said. He knows the little exploit where you can go completely off track at the start and not get a warning.
First person to pit.
That's
how Barlow has followed him. And Jack Mull.
Yes, the first three drivers into the pits. Potentially going for an undercut here. It's not that powerful here, it must be said, but going for that little bit of trap position. Tyres begin to die around about lap 10-11. Could work out quite well, as Massey's going to have a completely clear track ahead of him to try and close back into the DRS of Tooman.
One person who's lost time in the pit lanes, that's like Ali, because he followed his teammate in. Obviously, you have to wait a little bit for the team to get ready for his car as well.
Oh, as here we are, battle for P6s at the moment. Jack has just passed Charlie. As lap 11 now, and will Tooman, Kevin, Leah Panther, Golden Egg Fry, Jack, Charlie respond. Will any of them go quite long? Very interesting phase of the race, it must be said. Tooman definitely has a decent bit of pace here, and I think he should probably cover off Massey, I think, as he is his main challenger. Although he might potentially want to go long to have better tyres at the end of the race. But I expect the McLaren driver should come. No, he doesn't come in long yet. He is going long. So it's a 123.6.
Leah doesn't
Kevin
go
does
long.
a 124.1. Yes, Leah. Sensible decision from Leah, probably. Golden Egg Fry also pits just behind him.
Oh, and it's
as does Jack, who speeds. He speeds. It's probably the easiest track to speed in the pits here, it must be said. It's incredibly easy to make that mistake. Let's keep an eye on kind of where those drivers come out now. Leah has come out behind Jack Mull. Golden Egg Fry has come out behind the pair of them. I think they've basically just slotted into where they were. Alley's obviously quite a bit down now as well after that double stack.
Oh, so James has gone wide and Hicklin now gets past him. Gone one very deep into two. We've got to get a flag.
A flag in sector 2. Who's that? Who's that in sector 2 that's gone off?
I'm not sure who it was. Whoever it was, they recovered very quickly. Couldn't tell who it was.
I think it might be Zach's Beast because he's lost a lot of time to DRT Andrew this lap.
He has.
And yeah, I think it was Zach's Beast. And
he's going to have go on
Andrew's going to think about making the move. Down the inside of Ascari, Zach leaves the door open and Andrew says, thank you very much, I'll be taking that. And now SLR Doss is going to potentially come back at both of them. There's now Kevin pits, as does Panther. So it is now Tooman, the lone driver left, who has not pitted. Of the soft runners, of course. But I may as well stay along with this battle here because SLR Dosser, because AWL Kevin has slotted in right with. Oh no, that's DRT Andrew. I'm having a bit of a bot moment. That's the wrong. I've had a Crofty moment. I've thought that was the McLaren that it wasn't.
Oh, there's a nice battle going on in turn one. There's about four cars.
There's
only 4 wide going into one there.
Oh, Charlie, Hicklin, Jack, and Ale in there as well, battling it out, and that is great.
Oh, Jack moves round.
Again,
he's had contact with I think it was Kevin.
Contact with Kevin again. They've already had contact together once this race, and they've come together again. And well, Jack Mull, if he wasn't annoyed at Kevin before for their contact, he will be annoyed at Kevin now.
As race leader,
Tooman finally pits. Finally, he comes into the pits, does Tooman. He's going to have a bit fresher tyres here, but will that have cost him track position on Massey? Massey will have the undercut. Be interesting to see kind of how Massey's pace is. And let's keep an eye on the Williams driver.
I think he's got this here. Now. So again, the momentum that Massey's going to have.
It's going to be close. It's going to be so close here. Massey tucks into the slipstream to try and get that slipstream on Tooman. But Tooman is going to stay ahead. 0.6 of a second the gap is. But they are both now going to be trying to navigate Dosser, Zach is Beast and Andrew. And Zach is Beast and Andrew are side by side here once again. They're having great fun here for the battle for what is the lead now. But Andrew keeps the position. Yeah, this could potentially harm Tooman and Massey now because they are going to be trying to get their way through this train and well, it's going to allow Barlow, Kevin, Panther to close up. Very interesting here. Of course, Tooman and Massey have those penalties, but this could potentially get quite tasty here. I can't wait. Tooman has the slipstream of SLR Dosser. And he's going to have an excellent view for this battle. Here we are. Tuman's got so much more grip than SLR Dosser. But of course, Dosser, Zach is beast. Andrew have the DRS. Tuman is going to go to the outside here, and Tuman is going to... Is Tuman going to claim the position, or is SLR Dosser going to keep it in the inside? Oh, SLR Dosser is going to fight this. But Tuman gets the position, as Andrew and Zach are still battling it out as well. They're going to go side by side here, and Massey's going to get the position on Dosser as well. But here we are, Andrew's Zach still battling it out. And this has hold up Tuman so much. Look at this, Tuman's going to try around the outside of Zach. Does he make the move stick? No, he doesn't. And so now Massey is right with him. He's right on Tuman's bumper here. These two battling has really compromised Tuman in his race against Massey, as he's not going to be able to get past either of them here.
The momentum Tuman's got, he had to brake on the straight.
He's going to think about one round the outside. He's trying it. He's trying it, but he has to back out of it. And so Massey's going to have the slipstream. He's going to have the momentum. Is he going to be able to make a move here on Tuman? He's going to think about it to the inside here. He's going to go down the inside of Tuman. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he is. Massey takes the provisional lead of the race. And he is now the lead driver who's going to get past these cars first. Next up, Andrew. Next up, Zach is beast. Could Massey potentially make a double overtake here? He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Massey's driver holds the hand up in frustration at Zach as he makes a bit of contact with him, and that means that Massey and Tuman once again battling side by side here. Up through Curva Grande they go. Massey just keeps the position but has no ERS to play with. And now Kevin and Barlow are white with them. This train is now 7 cars long, and Tuman and Massey are still in P3 and P4 here. There's excellent racing here as Scarborger has retired in the pits. But yeah, Massey absolutely just pushing Zach through the corner almost. But once again, I think that straight line speed, that DRS that Zach also has, is going to cost him, although he brakes a bit late, and has he potentially got a bit of wing damage from that? I hope not, because this is a great battle. I hope not, because this is a great battle, but wowee, this is certainly coming alive. Kevin and Barlow must be absolutely loving this.
Andrew pits.
And Kevin now making the move on SLR Dosser. Absolutely crucial for this race. As Massey is now going to finally make the move on Zach, is he? He's going to go around the outside. Zach, his championship rival with much older tyres, is trying to keep it in there. And now Tuman, Kevin and Barlow are right with them. Tuman's going to use a lot of battery here. Is he going to make a double move here into Curva Grande? He's going to go around the outside, Vettel and Alonso style. Tuman has gone down the inside. He's absolutely sent it, and he's made it stick. That is Sebastian Vettel 2011-esque from ARL Tuman. He has held it on the grass through Curva Grande and has made a double overtake on both Massey and Zach. And wow,
that was honestly insane.
That is absolute insanity there, as now Kevin is going to potentially try and get through on. Oh, they're still going at it. I know they are.
Tuman's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting.
What the fuck? Oh, sorry for the swearing. Sorry for the swearing. You didn't hear that stream. You didn't hear that. Have you ticked your box again?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for these technical difficulties, guys. This is. I'm so sorry. My internet has just decided to disconnect me from my Xbox. I'm now back into the race, and we are going to get going as soon as we possibly can. This is ITV advert break time, and we are going to get this race continued once again. Who is leading? Who is in P2? Who is in P3? It is still Tooman, Massey, Kevin, Barlow, and Zach has hit himself. But let's have a look at the penalties now. And as you can, Tooman's got 13 seconds of penalty.
Oh my!
He's got 10 seconds worth of penalties in the last couple of laps from something, and that's going to really compromise his race.
He got a double penalty quickly. He did. 2 penalties at the same corner.
Yeah, we have missed something quite big here as Tooman has got the 5-second penalty, and it's going to be crucial for this race. At the moment, Kevin is due to win.
Oh,
I think Jack Moll is going to have something to say something about it.
He spun around by Liam and got an egg fryer. It's just hit his car.
As Jack Moll rejoins the track and nearly gets collected by Ale. Somehow that's not brought out a safety car. Golden Egg Fry has got some end plate damage, and that is going to compromise his race quite a bit, but wow.
Well, Jack Moll has had a very busy race with incidents today.
He's definitely had a very busy race. He's down in 13th, and he certainly had the pace, but I just not had the rub of the green in terms of incidents. He's really been battered and bruised.
Kevin might have a go on Massey here because the gap is over a second. Massey has just got DRS, but Kevin with more DRS.
He's got his light flashing though. Here we are. Kevin down the inside of Massey. And I mean, what has the traffic of Andrew and Ale just done to this race? It's absolutely just brought it alive. And at the moment here, well, Barlow could be looking very pretty if Kevin does indeed get a post-race penalty.
Yeah, another race.
Because Barlow is yet to get a penalty himself, and at the moment will finish ahead of both Massey and Tooman. Wowee, I do certainly want to see the incident where Tooman got those penalties. It's a shame, of course, that my Wi-Fi cut out at that specific time. It does sometimes do this, but anyway, we are back. Apologies to the stream chat once again, but it is still going to be a blockbuster end to this race here. This track, Monza, did promise action, and it has certainly delivered. As the yellow flag in sector 2.
Skullkiller's round.
Skullkiller is round.
The gap to Tooman at the top, 1.2 now. Obviously the penalty isn't going to help him, but Kevin's not going to get DRS, which means Massey might be able to catch back up here.
Yes, and Barlow is sticking in there as well. Panther does not seem to have the pace of these top 4, to be honest, but if he can stay within 3 seconds of Massey, then he could still be on for a podium. It's going to be tough for him. As yellow in sector 3, someone's gone off.
It's Hicklin slowing down.
It's Hicklin. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Golden Egg Fry actually had to pit for that wing change, and it's really unfortunate for him.
Oh, Hypers is round. He's had contact with somebody at the back. Another spin for Hypers. He has not had a good day at all. He's a lap down as well. The race to forget for him.
And he has no front wing. And I tell you the one thing that would bring this race firmly alive.
Will there a safety car?
A safety car.
Oh, we've got a car round.
Here we are, SLR Dosser. He's come round and trying his absolute best. Oh, Strastic Blazer spun on the exact same corner. He's rejoined the track, and OG James does manage to avoid him, but these drivers trying their absolute hardest to spin and cause incidents, but so far none of them have resulted in a retirement, and we are still without a safety car. That's something I thought we were dead certain on getting, especially after last night's race, and we've not had one yet. And I guess that is testament to everyone avoiding barriers. or at least avoiding the barriers at enough speed to wipe a wheel off.
We're going to have more overtakes then. Going past the second Lesmo now. Got a few drivers close, but I don't think they're going to be close enough going into Ascari.
Yeah, Massey is still happy just to tuck behind our LWRL Kevin. And Jack Mull sets the fastest lap of the race on his fresh softs. But yeah, what Barlow's got to hope here now is that Massey tries to move on Kevin, because that could potentially open Barlow up to have a move on Kevin. And Panther needs these guys to battle here as well. But at the moment, Massey with his penalties is fairly happy to just stick behind Kevin. He of course knows it will knock him down quite a bit, but
Barlow closing on Massey a bit. He's not going to be close enough, unfortunately, for him, but he doesn't really need to get past him because obviously him with that penalty. But again, Kevin, he kind of does because of Kevin as well. Still no penalty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying is that Kevin.
Apologies.
Is that ultimately Barlow knows his fight is with Kevin, and that fight for Kevin is for the race victory, as far as Barlow knows. And
Dossa's out.
And yeah, he's
Dossa.
He's retired in the pits.
One foot across the race straight there. I thought it was going to be a safety car.
Yeah, there is no safety car here. As yeah, he elects to. I presume he must have got damage from somewhere, but yeah, he is elected to retire from the session.
Massey
I see Barlow going very, very wide. And yeah, Massey is closing in on Kevin. Wants to propel himself a bit further forward. Get himself a bit of a safer gap to Panther. He's going to potentially try a move here into turn 1. Around the outside, and Kevin isn't going to fight it. Didn't really have the battery to defend, to be honest. And this is allowing... Ooh! This allows Barlow to get through. Kevin has made a mistake and Barlow has taken the provisional race lead. SLR Barlow, is he going to be able to defend from Kevin here? This is the battle for the victory. With 4 laps to go, Kevin has made a mistake. And now him and Barlow are going to go at it. Barlow is not giving Kevin any room whatsoever, but Kevin's going to try and hold it around the outside. But Barlow does take the place. And wow, that kind of came out of nowhere, really.
Wow.
Kevin dips the wheel onto the curb into turn 1, and that's allowed Aston Martin driver SLR Barlow to take the provisional race lead. Now, what Massey has got to hope is that these two battle a bit more, because Massey can still get that 3 seconds on Barlow and Kevin. This race win is not over yet for Massey. It's going to be a 3-way battle for the victory here, I feel.
Massey
I think Kevin is going to get past Barlow at some point, and Massey is closing in on Tooman. So that overtake's allowed him to close up to the McLaren driver. But here we are, Barlow and Kevin. Sector 3, and Hypers is out. Is this going to bring out a safety car, or were we just too late to bring out one? I think we were just too late to bring out one. But anyway, AWRL Kevin swaps back past SLR Barlow. Next couple of laps, they need to work together to avoid bridging the gap to Massey. But then on the final lap, I think that's when Barlow should attack. But yeah, he can smell the race victory here, can the Aston Martin driver.
Kevin got a better exit though there. He could be closing in here with DRS soon. He'll be about half a second going to the second Lesmo.
Yes, and what these two need to do is just keep on overtaking each other to try and get that gap down to Massey. Because at the moment, Massey can still win this race. Massey can still win this race if he gets that 3-second gap on Kevin and Barlow. And what Massey really needs to do here is get past Tooman, bridge that gap a little bit. These two could work together, but Kevin and Barlow could also do the same. I think Barlow, if he's smart here, he will make the move on this lap onto lap 26. to try and maximise the time that these two will gain over Massey and Tooman. Kevin shouldn't really defend this, but he is going to.
Jack
Mull has now crashed himself. And Barlow and Kevin going wheel to wheel here. And ooh, that's lost them a lot of time. That has lost them a lot of time, and I think that could potentially cost them the race victory. Because the gap's now 3 seconds to Massey. The gap is now 3 seconds. He does have that penalty margin. And after all of that, we've kind of just returned to where we were at the beginning of the race. Massey and Tooman a couple of seconds clear.
Ooh, Massey lost a bit of time there. It's 4 tenths to Kevin through the first last moment. We're going into the second one now. But Massey, the one with DRS, can
Is he
pull
feeling
away.
the pressure potentially?
No?
Yes. Yeah, is he potentially feeling the pressure here?
Might be.
But he has a good run through Ascari though. And it's going to be so close between him and Kevin. Kevin at the moment doesn't look to have the advantage on Barlow. But we are now going to focus on Massey F1. In Hungary, he was on the wrong end of a very close call at the finish. Could he be on the right end of one here? He's got basically no battery to play with. But he is going to try and make the move on Tooman. Tooman, I think, is probably just going to let him go here because he wants to maximise his time as well.
They do touch.
Oh, but he hits the back of Massey suddenly. Is that going to cost Massey time? Gap to leader here. Gap to leader here.
Only 2.8.
The gap is 2.8 seconds to Kevin. Kevin could still be on with this, and Tooman's going to go back at Massey here. Tooman is going to fight back. They make contact. They make contact, and Tooman's got through. Tooman has got through on him, and Massey has lost a crucial bit of time. The gap now is potentially enough for Barlow to get in there as well.
He's lost even more time.
Yeah, I think this could potentially be it. This could potentially be it. Tooman saved his ERS for the run up through Curva Grande. Has got the position back, and now Massey could potentially lose the move to Barlow as well. He's got Ascari to go now. He loses the back end slightly, does Massey. That's going to lose him time on exit. Kevin navigates that well, as does Barlow. We're now going to go through the final couple of corners. Tooman will be the race winner on track, but he has a lot of penalties, so he's going to drop way down. He crosses the line, and he's managed his race very, very well. He does have those penalties. Massey comes across the line to take the P1, but Kevin and Barlow have got him. Panther gets P4, Tooman gets P5. Actually, Tooman gets P6 after Leah got past him, but he is going to keep that P6 as Ale Charlie. Andrew Zakis Beast will not beat him, and that is the end of what was an absolute sterling race. AWL Kevin is your victor, but wow, that last lap.
What an unreal final lap. Honestly, unreal. Can we just say, Barlow, 6th position gain there, sort of P8, he's done brilliant.
He's my driver of the day.
I have to agree with you.
He is my driver of the day.
Let us know who you think is driver of the day as well in the chat as well.
But yeah, I'm just going to invite these three to the party. Barlow, Kevin, and then Massey. We have happy Barlow in the party. And yeah, let's get Massey in there as well.
That has all been on stream as well, by the way. Honestly, no one have lied, mate. Did you touch? Did you and Jack Mullet? Jack Mull. So is this P1 for me, is it?
No.
Nah.
Very cheap.
Because Jack says it's good.
Gotta ask. I'll be texting Jack, get it in.
I'm sweating my ass.
Nah, congrats, mate. Honestly, what a race. Thank you for the battle.
That battle was great.
It was, mate. It was. And Massey.
Quick
Massey,
reminder
if
as
you
well to
just...
everyone, take your boxes.
Oh,
Yeah, tick your boxes,
Yeah.
guys, and yeah.
Might be
So
Pixels
starting
coming.
off with starting off with Massey in P3. Well, I mean, your expected finishing position went from... It went all over the place, that race. Looked a very, very sweaty one. DRS trains all over the place. Absolute carnage. But you've come home in P3. So are you happy with the P3? Do you think there was more on there? We saw, obviously, you lost a bit of time in the last lap, which could have potentially cost you the victory. But a podium and getting back the championship lead has still got to feel at least good as a little bit of a consolation.
Yeah,
So how do you feel?
The 3-second penalty cost me. That was my own fault. Just ran wide a few too many times, so got no one to blame but myself, really. So, yeah, happy to be back on the podium. A little bit close for comfort a couple of times, but I'll bite my tongue on that. It's it was close, shall we say? But no, it was there was some good battles out there. I think I was 3 wide a couple of times, and yeah, it was a hard race. It was I think Kevin had better race pace than me and Tuman, but I think he made a mistake at one point when he was battling with Barlow, so that gave me and Tuman a chance to battle between ourselves for the last few laps. But yeah, we both had penalties, so yeah, congrats to Kevin and Barlow. They kept it clean, and I didn't. So yeah.
Yeah, fair play, mate. And yes, it is of course 15 points to add to your championship tally.
Yeah.
Now on to Barlow. You're P2 in the end, mate. And I mean, you started off, I believe, in 8th after, of course,
Yes.
Q3 had to be cancelled due to issues with the lobby. But how do you think your race went? It looked like a mega drive from yourself, staying out of trouble, and then showing some really good pace as well to get onto the podium.
Yeah, obviously, Tuman helped me and Kevin stay behind him, with his 13-second pens, and obviously Macy having 3 on the last lap. Looked like, I'm gathering, they got in the way of each other, which Macy did actually get ahead of that 3 seconds. So, yeah, I don't know what will happen with Kevin. I don't know what went on before. I just obviously noticed that him and Jack touched. But overall, mate, P2, I'm absolutely buzzing. I've said time after time that I don't see myself as a driver who should be in the top 5, but should be in the top 10. So to stand here on the podium now and sit here on the podium now is amazing, and another podium for the Aston Martins. So up the Astons, eh?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I have to say though, you say you don't really consider yourself as a guy who gets top 5. You definitely held your own very, very nicely in those battles. How kind of just talk us through the general just wheel to wheel and stuff. It looked like a lot of fun out there, a lot of concentration required, especially when you were all in that big train.
Yeah,
the guys who didn't pit stayed out.
Well, it's hard wheel to wheel around the track because you can't touch any curb, so you've got to keep it away. For example, I don't know if you had it on stream, but me and Kevin went into T4 and T5. I'm on the inside, Kevin's on the out, and you've literally just... Kevin gave me loads of space, so I didn't have to touch and jump over that curve, and then I did vice versa, give him enough space so he didn't have to jump and over T5. It's a very tricky track. You've just got to keep off the curbs, and you should do well, really. But overall, I kept my head shaking like a shitting leaf. But yeah, in the end, the outcome was P2. So absolutely buzzing. Yeah, it's great to be back on the podium, to be fair.
Yep. And now on to Kevin. Well, back to back victories.
Yeah, it's surprised me.
So yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm
Not
not
as
gonna
easy as
talk
last
about
time,
any
though, is it?
I'm not going to talk about any potential. I'm not going to talk about any potential stewards' inquiries or anything like that because I feel like that's something that should be dealt with another day, and obviously don't want to take away from your moment now of the victory. And well, I mean, what a drive it was. Ended up not getting any penalties, and yeah, you got not any penalties in terms of corner cutting, and you got the victory. So how do you think your race went? You had a very strong race pace, it must be said.
Yeah, the start was slow. They were pulling away. Messi and Tuman were pulling away easily, but when I actually went lap 8 or something, when everyone pitted onto the mediums, I had better pace than them. And then when they got to the back markers, then that's why me and Bala could catch up really quickly because of DRS. That really helped us to the win, because otherwise I wouldn't. Well, I would have got it. And
Yes, indeed,
yeah.
and of course that battling with Barlow as well. We saw you two from about maybe lap 10 onwards when Massey and Tooman got their penalties. We saw all of a sudden they were battling together with 3-second penalties for their own battle. You were battling together with no penalties for your battle. It was like you were kind of both battling for the victory together, but we didn't really have a clue who was going to take it. So, congratulations on yourself to be the one that does get it.
Yeah,
congrats,
well,
mate.
I don't know yet if Jack if Jack reports it. I don't know who gets the win then. Maybe he gets a 5-second penalty or something, or maybe I get it. Still, that would mean that would mean me P5 or something. Last 3 laps were really. I was really putting my ERS down there. It was just draining my battery, just not catching up. And when Massey touched and Tooman touched again, I don't think Massey lost a lot of time, and Tooman did as well. So I could catch up and got my P1. So that was it was really good for me.
Yes, and yes, but yeah, that's all we got time for. The actual F1's on now, so thank you for watching. I'm going to go watch that, as I'm sure most of you are, and good night. Please join us tonight at 9 p.m. for the Division 3 race. Should be a belter as well. Good night.